Morning.
Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome everyone to the first press conference of the 2020 Vivint Houston Open, and we would like to welcome Scottie Scheffler into the virtual interview room. Scottie, it was last year at this tournament you were presented the Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year award, and now you've recently been named PGA Tour Rookie of the Year. Can you take us through the craziness of that time span in terms of everything we've been through of late?
Yeah, it's been a weird year for sure. Things have been going pretty quick. I'm just glad that we're out here playing golf. You know, it was weird. We left the Players and we thought we'd be back in a couple weeks, and we thought this thing would just blow over, and look what it turned into. And so we're just glad we're out here playing. It's going to be great to have some fans back out here this week, and looking forward to the rest of the week.
Yeah, and speaking of the, as I mentioned, your rookie season, 2 third-place finishes, and you finished number 5 in the FedEx Cup. Can you take us through the season and how you're looking to build on that momentum this year?
Yeah, so I got off to a good start last season. I played a lot in the fall, played a lot of fall events, got off to a solid start, got comfortable out here, and then kept playing well throughout the year. I think I was real consistent most of the year, just getting a lot of good starts, get some good solid finishes, and improving on that going into this year. I want to put myself in the final group more often, just get a little bit closer to the lead. I think I just made a lot of kind of silly mistakes last year, and I need to clean up a few areas of my game so I could save, a couple shots here or there, a tournament, and put myself in a better position to win on the weekend versus last year. I kind of was on the outside looking in at those final groups, and hopefully get myself in that position here pretty soon.
You finished T28 last year at this event, but obviously we're at a completely different golf course. Do you have any history here at Memorial Park Golf Course, and have you seen it yet this week? What can we expect?
So I came out and practiced a little bit yesterday. I have not been around this place yet. My caddy went around the front 9. He said the greens are real undulated and very firm. They're kind of that, when you put in New Bermuda, it's extremely firm. And I'm assuming that's what the greens on the course are going to be like, because the course is pretty much brand new. And so I think it'll be challenging hitting approach shots into these greens, just the way they'll be bouncing, and it should be a nice, fun, exciting week.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for that. We'll remind the media to turn on your video function and unmute your computer when it's time for a question. And we're going to start with Adam Shupak from Golf Week.
Morning, Scottie.
Hey, what's up?
I'm doing all right. You just mentioned feeling comfortable. Can you pinpoint when that really occurred, and what did that feel like?
So it occurred pretty early on. I think I was playing in the final group Saturday at the Greenbrier, and so I got comfortable pretty quick just because I started competing early on, and I think if I got off to a slower start, maybe missed a couple cuts at the beginning, it would have been a little bit different, but it was nice to get comfortable being able to play well those first few starts, and so for me it was pretty early on.
Okay. You've gone from 81st a year ago to year number 30 in the world. What has been the biggest change in your game since a year ago?
I've been driving the ball really, really nice, and I think that's something I kind of lost in college. I was always a really good driver of the golf ball all through junior golf, and in college I kind of lost that. And the last couple of years I've just been able to hit a bunch of fairways, and playing from the fairways out here is extremely important, and I feel like I'm giving myself a lot of opportunities. And so driving the ball has been a tremendous improvement in my game over the last couple of years. And but a lot of that too, I just felt like out here getting opportunities as well was extremely important. Getting into those bigger events where there's more world ranking points available, getting into those World Golf Championships and majors and stuff like that, where there's a lot of points available to get. Playing on the Korn Ferry Tour, there's only a small number of points available each week, which is the way it should be. But getting out here and getting those opportunities was also very important.
Okay, you had to deal with COVID yourself. What did that do for? Did you lose some momentum during that time, just missing a couple events?
Yeah, I for sure lost some momentum. I was playing great leading up to then, and then all of a sudden I take a few days off before the U.S. Open just to get some rest after the playoffs, because we only had that one off week. So I took a few days off that week, started practicing, I think like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday night I got my positive test, and I had to wait, another 10 days before I could start practicing again. So taking those basically 2 weeks off kind of took me out of my rhythm. I would definitely not have liked to have taken that much time off, especially when you're playing well. When you're playing well, you kind of like to just, even if I am going to take 2 weeks without playing, I'm going to go out and hit a few balls, play a few money games and stuff like that at home to make sure I can stay in shape. And due to COVID, I was not able to do that. So it took me a little bit to kind of, find my swing again, but I think I found it last week in California. So game feels like it's in a good spot again.
The world number one, Dustin Johnson, will be going through a similar process. How do you think this could affect him going into the Masters?
I think it's different for everybody. I'm one of those guys that's going to try to play more events than I think a Dustin Johnson would, just because that's how he treats his schedule. So I would assume that it would be a little bit easier for him to deal with the time off versus me, and I think he's going to be just fine.
Okay. And what do you think you need to do to get over the hump, get that first W?
I think just put myself in position more. Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm giving away shots, too many shots early in the week, not really taking advantage of when I'm playing those really good rounds, not necessarily not being able to put it together for 4 days. Like I'll have a day here or there where I'll lose a couple of make a few silly mistakes and stuff like that, and it'll kind of put me on the outside looking in and a little bit too far back on Sundays. And so being able to clean up my rounds a little bit, stay a little bit more consistent, I think would be very helpful.
Okay. And you mentioned figuring some things out in California. Were you working with a coach out there? Take me through a little bit of your Masters prep.
So I was just sending a bunch of videos to my coach at home, Randy Smith, and Scottie was taking a bunch of videos on the driving range, just trying to send him home a few FaceTime lessons and see if we could get it figured out. And finally, I showed Randy a swing from 6 months ago, and it clicked with him one night. And I think it was the day before the final round of the CJ Cup. And just a little thing in my takeaway, I was getting the club into a weird position. It was messing up everything else, and figured it out, and swing's starting to feel good again.
Okay. And as far as Masters prep, what have you done so far?
Just working on, hitting some high iron shots, hitting some draws off the tee, just little things that you need around that golf course, just little touch pitch shots around the green, and practicing a lot of downhill putts.
How much time have you spent there, and what was the experience like the first time you went?
So we played there when I was in college. My college team went out there, and it was amazing. The golf course is awesome. Being able to play it for the first time was really cool. I've never been that nervous just stepping on the tee to play around for fun. But I feel like I'm in a good position just because I don't know what it always plays like during tournaments, and people are talking about how it could play a lot different in the fall. So that might be a little bit of an advantage for me being a rookie at that tournament.
Okay. I think that's all I've got for you.
Perfect.
All right, do we have any additional questions? All right, well, Adam, thank you for your contribution there. And Scottie, we appreciate you coming by early this morning, and best of luck this week.
All right, perfect. Thanks, guys.